Boston Dynamics and Darpa are working together on the Atlas humanoid robot for rescue missions. About the same height as a man but weighing twice as much, it can go into places that are far too difficult and dangerous for humans to tackle, such as during a nuclear meltdown, within a forest fire, or even deep underwater. At Strategic Defence Intelligence, we love military robotics stories, and Boston Dynamics is our favourite manufacturer because it makes these scarily lifelike robots. Two of its most famous ones are Big Dog, which is a four-legged pack robot, and Petman, which is currently being used by the US Army to test protective uniforms. Atlas is building on lessons learnt from Petman, but it's even more mobile and flexible and moves more like a human. There's video footage that shows it being hit with a 20-pound weight and it still carries on. The latest news is that DARPA is using a virtual version of Atlas in a robotics challenge. So teams are competing to navigate it through difficult terrain, as it would encounter in rescue operations. Eurohawk is based on Northrop Grumman's Global Hawk, which is being developed for the US military. However, Germany decided not to take the US certification with it and to do it itself. It's since emerged that it could cost as much as 600 million euros to do the certification, and it might not even be able to fly in shared airspace anyhow because it doesn't have anti-collision systems on board. The German government are carrying out an investigation in the matter. The defence minister is now claiming that he had no idea quite how serious these problems were until last May, and that he let the Parliament know at the last possible moment. However, opposition MPs are asking for him to resign. Details are now emerging that the US might have wasted money on its Global Hawk programme too, with a version found not to be operationally effective as early as 2011. Now critics are accusing lobbyists of keeping the programme afloat, even though it should have died a long time ago. We may find out that Eurohawk and Global Hawk are the UAS which should never have flown on either side of the Atlantic. Tragically, two stories have emerged recently that have seen soldiers die even far from the front line. In one, two people taking part in the selection process for SAS reservists died while on manoeuvres in the Brecon Beacons in one of the hottest days of the year. A story also emerged around the same time that more soldiers and veterans died of taking their own life than did in Afghanistan last year. 50 soldiers committed suicide compared with far less than that who actually died in combat in Afghanistan. Signing up for active combat is always going to come with a risk of death or injury, and no one can deny that training for the SAS has to be the hardest and toughest out there. However, there is a certain duty of care to look after soldiers at all stages of their career. The MOD needs to look at how it looks after its soldiers, not just when they're on the front line, but also when they're training and after they've retired from active service. It's already made huge inroads in this respect, particularly with regards to identifying symptoms of PTSD and depression that can lead to suicide.